Hi guys, Vanda here. So I've been playing the game Metro Exodus a lot lately, and one thing that's been bothering me is that it doesn't provide a history of saved games. So while it lets us manually save at any point, which it calls quick save, we can only load the latest quick save and not any point in the game that was saved at any time. So this is why I decided to go with the same workaround I used in the Metro 1 and 2 games for saving, and it's to organize my own folders to store each quick save so that I can find it and return to it later, because the game doesn't already do that for us. Now the good thing is that all saved games are in files that are easy to access. They are all in one folder on the disk. So this folder is either C users, then your name, then saved games, or inside the saved games folder there might be another subfolder which is called Metro Exodus, and the saved games are in there. So for me, this is right here. And now I have a lot of stuff here, but only these files were here originally. Everything else I've added later. So, and the ones that are interesting to me will be the last three: autosave, quick save, and user config. Now, to try this out, I'm going to just quick save the game first. So I'll quick save the game here, and then when that's done, I'm going to quit it. And what I can do then is I'll have the quick save. So I usually copy the autosave as well, because it's just useful to have both the quick save and autosave. I don't copy all of the chapters because those only point to the start of the chapter, and I don't need a lot of copies of that because I would be copying essentially the same file all the time. So let's just say I'll create a new folder for this one, and I'll keep it saved here. Now let's say I want to load one of my previous game saves. Let's say one of these. This should put me somewhere in the middle of the Caspian Desert, I think. So what I have to do is override the default saved game files here. Now I always make a backup before overwriting anything. I just did that right now. Also, I'll copy them back later. So now that I overwrote the files, all I have to do is start the game again, and when I click continue, it will start the load game that I just chose to load manually. Okay, so waiting for the intro to let me enter the game. One thing that I wanted to mention is that if you're playing this game for the first time on a new PC, then before you can overwrite the saved game files, you have to start a new game and let it save at least once. When that is done, you can copy all of your chapters and any quick save that you want, and it should work just fine. As you can see now, I am in the Caspian Desert. I'm actually on the last quest, so it didn't put me at the start of the chapter. I'm at the quest where I'm supposed to defeat the Baron. Now, I'm not actually going to play this, although it is tempting. It's a really interesting game. I'll just quit right now, and I will find the saved game that I just made a couple of minutes ago. So I'll just copy them from here and put them into the saved games folder, replace the files, and when I start the game again, it will let me continue from the valley, from the place where I was just a few minutes ago. I kind of like this intro. Okay, so I selected continue. And we can already see it's loading the Taiga chapter. And we'll see that it won't start from the beginning, but from the point where I last saved. So this is exactly where I was when I left off. So now that we know that loading any saved game actually works, there's still the issue that sometimes when autosave happens, sometimes it saves in a really bad spot. So what I actually want is to have access to all of my autosaves, not only the last one, because otherwise I have to be very careful to manually keep saving my games every few minutes, and then every time I do that I have to go back to File Explorer and copy the game files into a specific folder, and this is actually a lot of work. Then I thought, hold on, I'm sitting here at a computer, so why not let the computer do all of this work for me? So I put together this very simple PowerShell script that does just that. It periodically checks if any of the save files were updated, and if they were, it automatically creates a backup. So this is why I have a lot of these weird folders here with long names. Those were actually automatically generated while I was just playing. So now that you know what I'm doing, you probably already know how to do it yourself. I know that gamers tend to be tech savvy, but just in case you don't feel like doing it yourself, I'll show you how I did it anyway. So first I'll just show how the script works. I call it autosaver.ps1 and now I'll run it. What I need to do is start PowerShell in the saved games folder and then just execute the script. When it starts, it just shows me the latest update times of the files which I want to back up. I just want to back up those 3 and I want to keep them in one safe place. So now that I started this, I'm going to run around a bit and I'm going to just give it some saved games for the script to save, to create backups for them. So I did one save game there, and then I'm going to do another one. So here's the second, and yeah, it's just so that the script has something to do. So I kind of actually already cleared this out, so I'm just appreciating the the pretty game design right now. So when I go back, I can see what the script did, and what it did was that it created a backup folder for each of the 2 quick saves that I created. No autosaves happened while I was playing this time. Now I'll just break it with Control C. Yeah, I actually have an infinite loop there, so I have to break it to make it stop. And this is all that I need to do now if I want to load any autosave or manual save. For this one, I just open the matching folder and I can find the copied files there. So this is those 2. Those were just saved now. And so that's basically what it does. I don't really want to be restarting the game again just to prove that it actually works. We already did this manually, so this one just automatically copied the files. Instead, I'll quickly show what the actual script looks like. So I know that all of you know how to do this. And okay, someone has to over-explain things, right? So at the start I set an interval. I wanted to check if there's a new autosave or manual save once every 30 seconds. Then I want the folder name to start with my Metro saves. This is what I did here, so that's why all my folders are called that. And this is really anything that you might want to edit if you're not interested in actually making the script better, which I'm sure you can do. So I take these 3 files here and then I get the last time that they were updated to check if they updated since the last backup copy that I created. Here I find which one out of those 3 was updated last, and then if the newest one was updated last after I created my last copy, I'll create a folder and put the backup there, and in the end I'll sleep 30 seconds because I just don't want to be doing this all the time. Every 30 seconds is enough for me. And that's really it. One thing to note when starting your PowerShell script is that you might have a policy which might prevent it from running. So if that happens, you can open PowerShell as administrator. Just click on the PowerShell icon and select Run as Administrator. And in there, you can run the command set execution policy remote, and I don't really need to do that right now. So another way that you can start PowerShell is by pasting this command into the command prompt, and that's about it. You just run PowerShell before you start playing, and then just play as much as you want, and it will create backups of any auto saves or any manual saves that you do while playing. So if you want to load any of those backup saves, all you have to do is close the game, because if you don't close the game, then the game will interfere with your attempt to overwrite the files. So close the game, then copy your backups to the default save game folder, and that's just about it. For you, it might not be save games, it might be a subfolder inside there. And once you've done that, start the game again, click continue, and it will start from the latest save that you just selected. So this is all I wanted to show today, and I am loving this game completely. So hope that you found this useful, and I'm back to trying to finish all the main missions. So thank you for watching.